He's on fire!
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back for another video. I was going to start doing like the old school. We'll start from the 76 dunk contest all the way up to the 2000s dunk contest and start reacting to those and like judging them myself, like from a 1 to 10 scale. But I'm going to do it for a later day. But today we got NBA legends explain why Jordan was better than LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. I can tell you a lot of ways why he's better than him, but we're gonna watch the legends because they probably know way more than me because they played with him and I didn't. So we're gonna get right into the video and make sure y'all subscribe to the video, man. Let's go get to it. Hey, I don't think I seen that game. We dunked on Charles Barkley like that. Man. Made him fall down.
This is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Headphones too loud.
Be a fan. What's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up?
shout out
This
to
is
the
Matt
Basketball
Barnes.
Time
If you're an
Machine.
old school
You getting a
NBA
whole
fan like
lot
I
of
am, make sure
great
you check out
old
the
school
Basketball
content.
Time Machine with my man Sean David.
A lot of information too.
Hello guys, what's good? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. I'm your host, Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends giving their opinion about Michael Jordan and if he was better than Kobe Bryant and LeBron James.
Yep.
But before we dive into today's episode, I want to inform you guys that I have a new channel, a new YouTube channel called the BTM Legends Corner.
Oh,
This
we
is
got
where
a
I
new
will
channel.
have all my interviews with NBA players, but also with action stars
Check
and
that
movie
out.
directors from the 80s and 90s talking about movies like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, American Ninja, No Retreat, No Surrender, so the good stuff, the classics.
You better check that out.
All right, you guys, so check it out, and I would say enough.
Let's just get right to the video, man. Uh-oh.
Now the first player that we're going to take a look at is Mitch Richmond, a player that Michael Jordan considered one of his toughest matchups. Let's have a look.
Rich was
MJ,
tough.
and MJ has, often called you like one of the toughest shooting guards he had to defend.
Right.
What was it like going against MJ?
First time seeing, I watched him in college, but I was
Right.
in JUCO at the time then, but first time actually seeing him live in front of you, he was cat quick. And
Really?
Yeah.
At that
he
size?
was cat quick, and he had the ability to take one dribble and you try to get there, and he was in the air already.
Yeah.
So, you had to do a lot of freaking film work on him because he had every move.
Right.
And he can get by you with one step, and once he get by you, he's taking flight. But one thing, he was gonna come at you each and every night.
Every night.
Every game.
Kobe had that same thing that, and I think all the great ones have it, that they're thirsty to score. Like, it's like, I gotta get it.
The thing about that, Kobe was like more of a determined scorer and winner than LeBron. LeBron, he loved to win, but he didn't have that mentality like Jordan and Kobe did.
I gotta get that bucket. And the defenders be like, God damn, this dude is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have that mentality.
There's
Yeah,
been a lot
exactly.
of debate about who's the greatest of all time. Obviously, a lot of people, they just overlook what Kobe has done, and obviously LeBron is great in his own right. Do you consider MJ the GOAT?
Of course.
Of course he is.
Of course. I went up against him each and every night.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
And then you played with Kobe at the
Yeah,
Lakers.
I played with Kobe, and Kobe was, he's in that level, no question about it.
Yeah.
But Mike changed the game in so many other ways, not only on the court, but off the court.
And the next clip that we're going to take a look at is from Phil Jackson, so a coach who coached Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. So if somebody has to know, it got to be him.
Of course he'll know.
I know what you're going to say. Kobe, Michael.
Well, this is an interesting situation because about 2000, I had the team, was still probably 99 when I'm coaching the Lakers. Michael's out, he's been retired for a year, and he comes to a ball game, and I said, let's meet in, chairman's room after the game. I want you to talk to Kobe a little bit. He tends to take over a game, at a certain time in the game, and I think that, if you convince him to just wait, just be patient, allow the game to kind of come to him when it's necessary for him to do some things, because the team kind of loses their offensive direction.
Yeah.
So I get in this room and he sits down and he goes, first thing Kobe says is, I could kick your ass one-on-one.
Damn, that's crazy.
But not even letting him get anything
There's
out.
no conversation.
What did Michael say back?
You might.
You might?
Just
You
might.
said you
He said-
might?
Yeah, he said, I've been on the game a couple years. You just might.
So who wins? If you have to pick.
No, it's going to be MJ. He's got that hand. He's got the glove, as the glove used to be known. But when a guy can pick the ball up with one hand when he's dribbling like Michael could do, and do that and take the ball to the basket.
Yeah, Jordan had crazy
Michael
big hands.
Jordan is like, for basketball for me, he's the end-all be-all. Like, he's the best player I've ever seen. I believe he's the best player I'll ever see. I believe he'll be the best player a million years from now. I really believe that. I believe he is the best ever.
What do you think about it? Like, what if you had to sum it up? Because I try to explain it to my wife.
Right.
I didn't ever see him play.
Right. Well, put it like this. and Vess pointed this out to me. Michael Jordan is so good that when somebody else is the top of the top, the great in their sport, they'll say, David Beckham is the Michael Jordan
I
of
want to
soccer.
ask you who you would rather play
I
with,
said
and that's
LeBron because
interesting
of
to
the
me that you would pick LeBron. Who would you rather?
I'm going with Jordan.
You'd rather play with Jordan. How come?
I just Jordan is the.
See how everybody's saying Jordan? So, no, come on. It ain't because they grew up watching him. It's just the fact that, it speaks for itself. Jordan played a whole lot better, played harder than them, had a better IQ than them. So it just
is the greatest player to ever play the game. He demanded so much from his teammates. He may not have elevated his teammates with his passing, although he was a great passer. He elevated his teammates with his demeanor, with his attitude. You took on the personality of Michael Jordan when you were out.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And it made the team a lot better.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like if Jordan's not going to take stuff, I'm not going to take anything. That in itself, in an attitude and demeanor, makes you a better
Take
team.
yourself, your personality, what you bring. You gonna sit back and watch MJ, or you want to play with somebody that will defer
that's
to you at
interesting, 'cause
times.
yesterday we
He's
had-
not gonna defer to you now.
Right.
I'm talking about that's somebody that is great in his own right, and he'll sit and let you do your own thing, and won't hog the ball.
If it's about winning, and I know Jordan is a superior talent than me,
Pete,
I have
you
to
better
watch the
stop it right
greatest
now.
show on
Pete, you
earth.
better
Now, the next player that we're going to take a
Jordan
look
with
at
the ball
is Ray
already.
Allen, who was signed by the Jordan brand, so maybe he's a little bit biased, but let's hear what he has
Does
to
LeBron
say.
have to do something, or can he
No,
do
he's not
something where
biased.
you
Come
would
on
go, now I would look at him as the best player?
No, I think he certainly, just off the cuff, he's certainly the top 5 of all time. But playing against him and MJ, I think for me it's MJ all day long, only because how I played against him, and MJ just had everything, from mid-range to three-point to post-up game, and he could score and dominate in each position. LeBron is dominant. LeBron could do so many things on the floor. And
Do you think LeBron's a better all-around player than Jordan?
It's hard. That's hard to say because
that's kinda tough.
LeBron is probably one of the best passers, that the league has seen. MJ is probably the weakest part of his game. He didn't pass a lot, but at the same time, MJ didn't have any other weaknesses in this game.
No, he didn't.
And defensively, he was a two-way player. Defensively, he was incredible and just as dominant.
I really like Michael Jordan. He and I are friendly. And he never changes. He just doesn't change. He's the same guy all the time. And I still see him every once in a while. And
defense.
This guy has done more spectacular
crazy.
things than any basketball player I've ever seen.
I agree.
I mean,
that's Jerry. That is saying a lot.
I agree.
Consider.
I've ever seen.
Do you want the scary stuff?
I'm so into blood right now.
No, the dead.
You've seen a lot.
I know. I mean, just to go, like I said, we've worked
thought it was Kevin
backwards,
Garnett.
obviously, from where he is now to where you were as a player. That speaks volumes. Especially, I mean, number of years with the Lakers, player, visor. I mean,
Terrell, the thing that people don't realize is some of the stuff he could do. he was the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
He was
Yes,
playing.
absolutely.
He was the best offensive player.
No, man. Then Kobe, then Braun. Braun is the best all-around player we've ever seen, but he hasn't passed Kobe and Jordan, in my opinion.
No.
But I played.
You're right, though. You're right.
What do you think Jordan will average? Where do you think he would fit in?
I mean, he can adapt his game to anything. He would fit in as the best player in the league. Like, that's where he would be. And, you know, I feel like he'll have more possessions to do more things.
Yeah.
But there's also more athleticism in this game. There's more length in this game. But, you know, it's also more space for MJ to go to work. So, I mean, we'll never know. But for sure, I mean, he's a masterful basketball player. Like you've been saying, his skill level is unmatched. So, of course,
I just think there needs to be a line in the sand and no more comparisons because it just can't be. You know, Jordan didn't come straight out of high school. What if Jordan would have played 2 more years? Jordan played in a different era, you know. So I'm kind of worn out of the comparisons because I think you still have to talk about him being better than Kobe.
Yeah.
You can't just jump up to Jordan. I don't think numbers just
He is
mean
better than
it.
Kobe.
And I think maybe he is the greatest teammate of all time instead of individual players. So when you get into the weeds of it, I've heard some really good arguments, and I can agree with those. But the overall arguments, I'm not sure. Because one day Durant's going to break all of those, and I think Durant will actually break Kareem's record. So it means a lot that he did that, and I'm congratulations, very happy for him. But it doesn't do anything in the argument of who's better to me.
So if I take a look at Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, to me it's not even close. Michael Jordan to me is the greatest player of all time, and if there ever was a player who would at least come close, it had to be Kobe Bryant. No disrespect to LeBron James, but Kobe just was closer.
Yeah, I think the same about that because I'm not gonna be biased at all because I can't be because I watched all 3 in their whole career playing basketball, and I would still say that Jordan is the best. You know, better than Kobe, better than LeBron. LeBron is a real gifted and skilled player for his size, but you know he don't have that mentality and complete game like Jordan did. So I just have to say Jordan on that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. And till the next video, your boy King Smooth, and I'm out. Peace.